The views and opinions expressed by the participants on this show are not necessarily those of Stewart Information Services Corporation, Stewart Title, or Stewart Insurance. Before you make any investment, you should seek the advice of your investment advisor or attorney.
Whether you're a real estate broker, realtor, homeowner, buyer, or seller, everything matters when it comes to real estate. This is Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. Stewart Title's Bill Knapik and guests open the door to what really matters in owning, buying, and selling real estate. And now, Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title, brought to you by Stewart Insurance. Here to inform, entertain, and inspire, Bill Knapik.
Welcome to the show. It is Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. I'm your host, Bill Knapik. Thank you for joining us here today for show number 586 as we roll past Thanksgiving into the even more holidays and great days are ahead. It is Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. We have great guests on today, and we're going to get started with someone that you may know right here in Houston, Texas. He has his hand in many businesses, certainly real estate. His name is Al Ross. Some of his companies are Al Ross Luxury Homes, Ross Homes, Kronberg's Flags and Flagpoles, Meridian Signs, and he probably has a couple other things up his sleeve. Al, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Bill. Good to be here today.
Well, here you are. I mean, real estate and business are just go hand in hand in your world for all these decades. First of all, let's tell people about your companies and start whichever one you want to.
Well, we, as I mentioned to you, as you had mentioned on the air earlier, we're involved in a number of different businesses. One of the businesses that we're very proud of is Al Ross Luxury Homes, where we were building homes that are high-end luxury homes, anywhere from 3 to 15, 20 million. And we've built probably about 32 of those homes in Houston on a speculative basis. And we've also have built about a half a dozen custom homes. And as you know, one of the homes that I'm very excited and proud to share with you is when we did a custom home for Mr. Tillman Fertitta. We finished a couple of years ago. We also own a company called Ross Homes. In that business, what we do is we build starter homes. Our pricing starts around $370 and up. I think our highest has been about close to $600,000, and we have 20 of those under construction currently today. And my son, who is the president of the company, is running that business for me. He handles the day-to-day operation.
Well, as we talk about the real estate aspect of what you're doing, let's tell people the beginning of Al Ross Luxury Homes, because if I recall the story, you sold a business and then you were taking a little bit of a break, figuring out what you were going to do next, and it all began with, I think, 1 or 2 lots in River Oaks, and it's a great story.
So Bill, I started building a house for myself back in 2007, building a custom home, building my own dream home, and I ended up finishing a house back in 2010, and it was an experience. I had to be involved quite a bit as the owner of a home. I had to be involved in it, and a little bit more than I care for to be involved with that at that stage. But in order for us to build a great home, I really had to be involved in every details of it. Now, some people say maybe that's your personality and you want to be involved and make sure that everything's done the way you want it to be done. And as you recall, I had started a company called National Signs back in 1992 was our start of that company, and I started that company with $200 was my initial startup when I started that company. 20 years later, I ended up selling the company to a private equity firm out of Houston. And that was 2012. And after I departed that company, I was looking for some opportunities, and I came with the conclusion that there aren't any builders in town that are building homes that what I would consider custom spec, meaning that every home is different from one or the other. It's actually truly a custom home, and as you may know already, that when you build a custom home, there is thousands of decisions, hundreds and thousands of decisions has to be made. And it could be very taxing to the homeowner. It's a lot involved. And so I said there's got to be a market for someone to build a custom home, and a homeowner can come in and say, wait a minute, they thought about everything in this house. They whether it's a lighting control or the sound control or the proper insulation and just everything about the house, we wanted to make sure it's ready. And in some cases, we were actually involved with getting the house ready even for furniture. So some people actually bought a couple of homes with us with about 60-70% of the furniture and the draperies that we put into the house, just to simplify the whole process for homeowners. And so that's how we got started. We started in 2012, late 2012, we bought 4 lots in River Oaks, and within a month of each other, we started building them. And our first house was finished. Our first custom home, which was on Olympia, we finished it in less than 12 months, which is really unheard of in Houston. We looked at the residential building just like you would do with a commercial construction, which is you have a set of plans, you have schedules and goals, and that's how we treated it. And the 32 homes that we built under our own umbrella as a custom spec, every one of them were done in under 12 months or less, with exception one of them, which was 8833 Memorial. And the reason that went on to 14 months was we were just getting hammered with rain those first couple of months of getting that home started. So we built most of our homes in 12 months or less, which is they're all in 10,000 square feet, 9,000 square feet. Some of them are very large properties. In the case of 8833 Memorial, it was 51,000 square feet of property along with 12,000 square foot of house that was built in 14 months. And so that's how we got started with the home building business, trying to fulfill a niche in the market that would allow someone to come in and say, I truly have a custom home without having to go through the whole process of 2 or 3 years of building a house.
And the part you were talking about, Al, in terms of all the decisions, certainly when we're talking about bigger homes, more expensive homes, there's more decisions to be made just on the size aspect, and then also someone with a discerning palate and desires. It's extra work, but the fact, and then you also had a feature with the home, or have a feature with the home, is the concierge service,
right,
to where when you get a brand new home, inevitably, hey, a light bulb is not going to be right, or something's going to be wrong, but you have the service where they call, it's taken care of.
Yeah. So basically what we did was with that was we wanted to make sure that it was about the experience. It wasn't just here's a house, walk in. We wanted to make sure you have a good experience. And so it's, when you build a custom home, it's essentially you're building a prototype, and it's going to have, it's a homeowner walking in aren't going to know what you know that you worked on the last 12 months building that house. And so we wanted to make sure that the homeowner have good experience. And so we would provide a complete concierge service from everything. We would tell our client, if you want to just not worry about anything, we'll have a team that will take care of every aspect of running this home, including the regular maintenance that's required to maintain the house. And and we still have a lot of our clients still call us, and we have a team, in-house team that goes out and takes care of the needs that the clients have.
And of course, your office is not far, where you're running your businesses is not far from River Oaks.
Correct.
And it's right inside the loop, so you're able to take care of people in a great way. And I've been to several of the homes. In fact, one time, I don't know if it was as we're around Christmas, one of the times I set up my piano, and I played a little background music as you had your open house.
3443 Inwood, I think that was
that?
The big house, yes.
It was very nice. It had a little pool in the back, and it was just right, yeah.
Yeah,
a lot of people showed up.
Yeah, that was a big open house.
Well, and that, when we think about open houses, I mean, so many things just in general, with you, me, and everything else, open houses are so important. In fact, years ago, how you and I even met was a result of our CEO at the time was looking at open houses in River Oaks. He went into one of your homes, and then he sent us a little sales lead and said, hey, who's this Al Ross? And me, being the junior salesman or trying to be a good salesman, I walked over to Mercer Street and I said, "Hey, Al, I'm with Stewart Title," and then we've known each other now, I don't know, 9, 10 years.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that vividly.
I was knocking at the door, and you actually saw me. I was like, "Hey, he's all right."
I do remember.
A few day planners later, and here we are.
Here we are, exactly.
So, yeah, and also your team, as you run the team, is it Joanne Warren?
Yes, Joanne Warren is our Chief Operating Officer.
You're like at Stewart Title, we have people that have been around a long, long time, but your team has been together for quite a while, which is how you're able to do such great work as well.
Exactly. I think one of the important things is that for us in business is to have long-term associates with us. And my personal belief is that the most important asset you have is your people. I know a lot of people think of machineries and equipment are the assets, but really your people are the most important assets. And if you want to provide a great service, you've got to make sure you take care of your employees first and your associates first before you let them go out there. And in the case of Joanne, her and I have been working together since 2006. So I'm very grateful to have her with us and many other.
If she's listening, we're saying hello to her right now.
Hello, Joanne.
So as we're talking about, we have the luxury home aspect, and of course, people all around the country that visit Houston, Texas, or even if they don't visit, everybody's heard of River Oaks. Mm-hmm. So these are where your, so to speak, flagship properties have been works of art that people get to live in, as I've said on past shows with you. And then you're covering another part of the market with Ross Homes that your son is running. Tell us a little bit more about what's happening there and what part of town those homes are, and if someone's interested.
We're basically the Ross Home. What we do is we build what we call the starter homes, and basically our starting price is somewhere around $370, $350, $370, I believe is where we started at. What we're looking for is we look for properties where we can find 8 or 10 units that we can put together, and pretty much as long as it fits the model that we're looking for as far as the property is concerned, and so we have a lot of realtors bring us. We don't necessarily are interested in doing a 40-unit project or 60-unit project. We're more interested in finding various parts of town where we can put in 8 or 10 units together, and some close out of some subdivisions, and where the large builders, once they exit, will go in and buy the properties and build on them. And we've got some units that have been completed and sold this year in Sunnyside area. I don't know if you're familiar, south side of town, and various parts of town. But the main thing is affordability, is building homes that people can afford. And still be nice and comfortable and address the basic living needs of homeowners.
Well, as you look at the real estate aspects of what you're doing here in Houston, Texas, we've talked the last couple of years about all the people that are moving to Houston, but you're a resident of Houston for a long time. You have businesses here. But when we think about the opportunities, if someone were to say, Al, obviously, you still believe in Houston and
love Houston.
The opportunities. But give us an idea, maybe someone that's listening from afar, about, as a business person and resident, about how Houston is still such fertile ground for opportunity as long as you have the eye and the vision.
Well, Houston has always been a great place to do business, and I always tell people if you're looking to start a business, Houston is a great place for it, simply because it's easy. It's we don't have a lot of regulations for starting new businesses. The environment is it's simpler, less regulations, simpler, and it's just it's growing. I mean, it's amazing what's happening in Houston when you look at north of Houston, east, south, west, all parts of it. It's just exploding. It's growing. We have a lot of manufacturing facilities are opening up in Houston. We see that growth is going to continue growing. Houston is going to continue, and it's been like this for as long as I can remember. I've moved here to Houston in September of 1977. I mean, it's many years, and I've seen the ups and downs. But we tend to, when we have a downtime, we tend to be recovering much faster, and it's a shorter downturn that we see. But right now, personally, as a business owner, as an investor, we're out there. Part of the other businesses we own is we have a small family office, private equity, that we invest in smaller companies in Houston, and they bring deals. They bring deals to us all over the country, Dallas, Austin, everywhere, and we just simply tell them we want to only look at Houston because we truly believe Houston is going to do well over the next 10, 20 years. We're gonna be the state of Texas, as everyone has predicted. It's going to be the largest state in the next few years, and definitely Houston is going to continue expanding. For one of the other reason is, Bill, as you know, we have so much room for growth, right? I mean,
it depends. I mean, as we look out the window here inside the loop on the West Loop, I mean, things are all going up. So,
That's
yeah,
correct.
there are areas that are crowded, but it seems like, there's a lot of room here. When you go out on 99, we're talking about, you got the Amazon, where I read something, I think I read it correctly, that Apple, somewhere on 99 near Cypress, somewhere thereabouts, is going to be employing 20,000 people. An Apple complex coming here. So I don't know. I think that's 2026. So that's a big deal. But yeah, there's still room.
I read. I can't remember exactly where I read it, but a few weeks ago that by this time next year we will have 60% more manufacturing facilities in Houston than we do today.
Well, you mentioned the late 70s when you first got here. Okay,
Yeah.
So I got here I used to visit on business from Chicago, visit Houston in 1981-ish or so, and I remember I was coming down to work the Midwest area, and Houston being the biggest market for me. I mean, I could feel the economic excitement back then, so different to where I used to live, as in the Chicago area for 2 years, Washington, D.C., various suburbs for 4 years, and then, of course, growing up in the Pennsylvania area. But I felt economic excitement in the early 80s like I've never felt before, and I was working for a company, a British fellow, as I evoke his potential dialect here in a minute. I'd come down here, I'd say, Ken, it's so exciting here in Houston economically. Well, Bill, why don't you move there? So I moved at the time.
Oh, wow.
Had an office right here at 4801 Woodway. Ended up living there many years later, right behind it, over there by the Omni Hotel. Right. But there in 1981-82, feeling that excitement, opening the office, 4801 Woodway, and then here we are watching the growth and the excitement, and it doesn't seem to cease as we talk to people here on the show and yourself here today. And you're investing, I mean, we're talking with Al Ross Luxury Homes, Ross Homes. We're going to talk about Kronberg flags and flagpoles. What a great business. How exciting is that, Al? Let's talk about the flags and flagpoles.
Yeah, we had an opportunity. We heard about this company. I always knew Kronberg flags and flagpoles. They've been in business since 1953. A year ago, we learned about that Mr. Ron Kronberg, the owner, was looking to divest his interest from the business because he was looking for retirement. Without even knowing the numbers and knowing the details, I said, we absolutely are going to buy this company. And we were very excited because it's a great company. And not only is it a great company, the product they sell is very unique. And, in terms of having our ability to be able to produce flags and flagpoles, and just the whole concept of it was very exciting. And so we actually, a year ago today, we closed on this business. And I'm happy to tell you that a year later, we've grown the business by 20% and multiple our employment, and we're growing the business, and it's a very, very exciting business. But we can install a small flagpole for you all the way to 150, 200-foot tall flags anywhere in the nation, not just in Houston. We do a lot of work in the state of Texas. Incidentally, state of Texas is probably the largest user of U.S. flag.
I was going to say, this is fertile ground for flags, I would imagine.
It is really, really unbelievable how big it is, how big the business is in the state of Texas.
Well, give us an idea just from the business and in general terms for someone that, whether it be, hey, if realtors are independent contractors, they're running their business, but for someone, your background is your real estate. You have been in the sign business. You're back in the sign business as well. We're going to talk about that. But when you get into like Kronberg's, where you didn't grow up with flags as running the business, but as a business person, knowing what you know, how do you go into a company? What are some of the first things you do to say, okay, here's a long-running business, it's been successful, and now I'm going to run it? What do you look for? What's the bullet points? Simplify it, if you would.
Well, we look for the opportunity in terms of a lot of these companies that we are after in acquiring. They've been in business a long time, and companies tend to get in a comfort, what I call a comfort zone, where everybody gets comfortable in a day-to-day operation. There's really not a lot of innovation that takes place, and so over the years they seem to just kind of go along with the status quo, and there's not a lot of innovation and re-engineering that takes place. And so we look for those opportunities for us to go in and go in and look at some opportunities to grow the business by just re-engineering, rethinking through. In the case of Kronberg, and as we've done in the past, we ask the question of why. The why question when we go in, and we'll say, well, why do you guys do it this way? Because that's the way we've done it. Why? And so we look for opportunities to energize people. That's our first goal, is to get buy-in from them and get them energized and really create some excitement within the business, which is what we did with Kronberg's. And like I told you earlier today, one of the conversation we had in our discussion in our sales meeting earlier this morning was that we don't say no to our customers, right? We just don't say no to them. Whatever they need, even if we don't have a great answer, we say, I don't have an answer for you, but I'm going to get you an answer and find a solution for what their needs are. And so just a different mindset. I'm the type of business owner that I'm not satisfied with the status quo. We have to constantly be improving. As soon as we improve to this, whatever it is that we want to accomplish, we look for other opportunities beyond that to be constantly re-engineering and improving our individual, as companies. We have to constantly be improving and doing better and getting stronger in business.
And with flags and flagpoles, I would imagine there's all sizes. You're working with commercial customers, people that want a flag at their home, or two flags. I want one at my vacation cabin. I want one at my main home. What are some of the common things people are looking for in the flags? We do business with a majority of our business is done on a commercial level, meaning that businesses will come and purchase flagpoles from us, and we install them for them. As an example, we have a car dealership in El Paso that we have an order for a 150-foot tall flagpole that we're going to be installing in month of January. So we have those businesses. We have a lot of governmental agencies that will buy flagpoles from us and flags. And then we also have the residential sides of the flagpoles. State of Texas allows any homeowner to have a flagpole up to 20 feet tall. Homeowner Association cannot tell you not to have it. Now, they may tell you the colors of it and where you can place it, but they cannot tell you cannot have a flagpole. So we're starting to see a lot of residentials are asking for a flagpoles installation, but majority of our business is done on a commercial side. We also have a Shopify site that we have people go online and place an order. Like this weekend, we had Black Friday special where we're giving 20% discount, and I think that runs all the way through tomorrow afternoon. And so we had somewhere between 50 to 75 orders over the weekend for flags that are getting shipped not only in Houston, Texas, but all over the country. The one in El Paso, I think you said earlier, how big was you said the flagpole is 150 feet tall. How big is the flag that would be on it?
Well, generally we recommend either 30 by 60 or 40 by 80. Feet, yes.
That's a big flag.
It is a very big flag. And the challenge with when it gets so very large like that is that you need a lot of wind for it to be picked up. So you can do a 30 by 60 or you can do a 40 by 80. So they're very, very large, but they're absolutely beautiful at night, especially at nighttime when that flag is the wind is moving and you've got it lit up, and it's just, I mean, it's absolutely breathtaking. It's a great attention-getting devices. Again, in the state of Texas, you are allowed to have a U.S. flag and a state flag, and no government agency can tell you, no, you cannot have it. So now, again, they may tell you about the color and give you some restrictions like that, but the idea of having a U.S. flag can be displayed anywhere on your property.
And if someone wants a custom-made flag for the name of their business or something,
we do a lot of that. Yeah. We have a production facility right here we're off of Bel Air in 7106 Maple Ridge. We actually have a storefront with a lot of clients that actually do like to come in and shop for flags, believe it or not, and pick up their own flags, and we offer to deliver it to them at no cost, but they still like to come into our store and pick things up, but we do have a large facility that we can build custom flags for businesses that would like to fly their logo, display their logo on a flagpole. We can do that and build any sizes. We do it for all major oil companies that we do business with. Again, Kronberg Flags and Flagpoles is the largest facility company in the state of Texas. We have the largest inventory of flags, and we have the largest inventory of flagpoles. I mean, we keep flags as 10 feet all the way to 100 foot in stock all the time. So if a client says, I need 500 footers tomorrow, we could respond to that pretty quickly, which is very unusual for a flagpole companies to have a large stock. When we acquired it, we had close to 150 flags in stock. Now we're almost up to 300 flags in stock.
Al, let's tell people the website for Kronberg's.
You can reach us at kronbergsflagsandflagpoles.com, or you can call us 713-661-9222.
And Kronberg's is spelled with a K, right?
Yeah, Kronberg, Kron.
The website again is?
kronbergsflagsandflagpoles.com.
And the phone number?
713-661-9222.
What about any pirate flags?
Whatever you need, we have it.
I'm picturing skull and crossbones,
we have,
too.
believe it or not, we have all kinds of religious flags. We have international flags in stock.
That's got to be fun. What
we
a great
have military
business.
Flags. Like I told you, we have thousands.
Al, you're always thinking the flag. I mean, if you would have called me, I would have invested in that too. That is just too much fun.
Me too.
And the patriotism that. I mean, I'm sure every state has that a lot of patriotism. I grew up in the Northeast. Our country started there. You could feel it there. But when you get to Texas, it's a whole other thing.
Yeah,
flags and flagpoles.
Yeah, it's a huge business in the state of Texas.
That's very exciting. Okay, Al's going to be back with us in a couple minutes. In the meantime, Al, let's tell people again, Al Ross Luxury Homes. They can go to that website.
That's great. We go to Ross Homes. They can call me at 713-306-9154. 713-306-9154.
Al, thanks for being with us. Al's going to come back. Thank you, Al.
You're welcome, Bill.
In today's litigious society, it is imperative to have the proper insurance to offset the many risks facing your business, especially if you're a real estate broker. Your errors and omissions and cyber liability insurance can help limit the threat of these risks if you know what to look for. Not sure if your insurance addresses the risks facing your business? Contact Stewart Insurance to be confident your brokerage can withstand these risks. Stewart Insurance, 866-798-2827. StewartInsurance.com. That's StewartInsurance.com or call 866-798-2827.
Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title would not be possible without our partner, Stewart Insurance, with a focus in real estate and a special focus on real estate brokers. Stewart Insurance creates insurance plans to address the risks facing our industry today. They invest a significant amount of time helping real estate broker owners offset and manage their risk. Here he is, John Bramlett with Stewart Insurance. John, welcome back.
Thank you, Bill. Always a pleasure.
Well, here we are, once again, starting off with such interesting information, and now it's insurance time. It all just works together, doesn't it?
There's always something to learn on the show. You're always going to get at least one or two thoughts or something to write down about what did I learn today, or let me try that, or I didn't think about that. It's always something that we learn.
Informative, inspirational, and even entertaining every now and then. That's what we set out to do.
Every now and then, yes. It's fantastic.
Well, John, insurance, what should we talk about today?
So since we're in the season of thanks and we're in the season of Thanksgiving, I was just curious about what our listeners are thankful for. So if we have a listener that's going through the home buying process right now, what are the things that maybe they're thankful for during this home buying process? Do they have an insurance advisor that's working with them to help them make sure that if there's some specific needs that the lender requires in order for the loan to work, or they have an advisor that helps them with that? Do they have an advisor that as they're going through this home buying process that's asking them at least to consider flood coverage and talking about what that might look like for the home that they're considering? Do they have an advisor that's making sure they understand the coverages that they have and that they don't have, so that there's not going to be a surprise down the line, if you wanted to make a claim, so that we understand and we make sure that the home buyer understands this is what is and is not covered. And then are they thankful to be working with an advisor that maybe has scheduled a post-closing discussion? So let's get through the closing, get the loan, and then if we decide that maybe there's some things that we want to adjust on the policy, that we've got that opportunity.
Yeah, so many things to think about, too. But like you started out, it is important, and I think some people overlook the importance of having the right insurance partner.
Well, it is, and because having the right insurance partner then allows you to have the right insurance plan, so that that when, that as you look at if you're a current homeowner and you're evaluating your finances as we move into 2026, one of those evaluations ought to be your personal insurance. And, is the coverage I have now meet my family's needs, or does it meet my personal needs? Having that, being able to have somebody to speak with about that, to make sure that that's the case. Working with somebody that can say, understanding, let's make sure that we're clear about what coverages we have and we don't have. Let's make sure that, hey, maybe my home's a bit older and I've got some concerns about water damage. Let's make sure that we've got a sudden and accidental or seepage and leakage coverage or water backup coverage. And let's make sure it's at a level that I can utilize the insurance if, heaven forbid that I were to have to. Are you working with an advisor that says, hey, Bill, let's take a look at your home and auto. Maybe if we place it with the same company, we can save you some money on the premiums on both. Or based upon your lifestyle now, Bill, maybe an umbrella policy on top of your home insurance would make sense. So again, do you have somebody like that you can be thankful for, that's working with you to make sure that you are properly insured? Somebody that can help you with the other aspects of your life, your home, and we talked about home and auto, but what about your boats or your motorcycles or your SUVs or your ATVs? So being able to, again, to help you with
vacation home.
Your vacation home, exactly. So being able to help you with that. So do you have somebody like that to be thankful for, to make sure that you truly are properly insured? And I think that same question can go out to the real estate firms and the real estate owners, the real estate brokers, the people that run title and attorney agencies, independent title and attorney agencies. They can have that same question. What are you thankful for? Are you thankful? Do you have an insurance partner, that provides a detailed policy assessment so that you truly understand what my coverages look like? So let's say you have a general liability policy, cyber liability, and errors and omissions. Do you have somebody that's objectively looking at that policy for you to let you know, hey, based upon some of the changes in the business, we've got some gaps here? Or, hey, the coverage is fantastic, we're in good shape, let's keep it the way it is. So do we have that? Are you thankful for that? Are you thankful that you've got coverage in case you've got an open house and heaven forbid somebody were to get hurt? Do you have coverage to offset the physical damage to that individual? Or you were to damage the home while you were staging it? Do you have some coverage to offset that expense? So again, those are the kind of things that we want to think about, that if we're not thankful for those things, that we've got some concerns about those things, and then we need to find somebody to work with, like the advisors at Stewart Insurance, to help with that.
Well, and also we want to remind people, as we often do, as Stewart Insurance, certainly here in Houston, people hear the broadcast at the time of broadcast, but you're helping people, John, in other states, all over the United States, at Stewart Insurance. If they're in Pennsylvania, California, Michigan, wherever, you're helping people with their insurance needs all over the place.
We can, and we're thankful that we have that opportunity, and we have that gratitude to be able to work with clients, both families and individuals, as well as real estate businesses all over the U.S., to make sure that, if you have a large firm that has a lot of employees or staff members, maybe you need to think about workers' compensation, so that if somebody were to get, a member of your team were to get hurt on the job, that we've got some coverage that can offset, that expensive. Do you have somebody that's thinking about what you need to do to minimize the chance of some sort of a cyber threat? Or, we want to avoid the best that we can and protect ourselves in case of ransomware or, in case of a phishing incident. And if you've got that coverage, that's great. And just want to make sure that you're thankful for that. You've got somebody that you're working with that can help you with those types of coverages.
In addition, this is always a good time of year to review all the categories of our life. But I know a lot of people, they may have extra time right now, but certainly a lot of us are reviewing at this time of year to say, okay, well, this year this happened, that happened, maybe I can improve upon this, or my situation in life has changed. Maybe I don't have the vacation house anymore. Maybe I only have 6 cars instead of 7, or whatever it may be. This is the time of year to do that. So it's a good time to think about having the right company for our insurance needs as we plan ahead for 26 and beyond.
Yeah, we had our guest Katie a few weeks ago. She talked about that she and her husband go away for a week, and they plan out the year. And I'm hoping that part of their discussion is just that do we have the right coverage for our family? Do we have the right coverage for our businesses? And if you do, that's fantastic. If not, like you said, this is a good time to have that conversation. Let's take a look at what's changed in my life. Have I added a home? Have I taken a home away? Do we now have another driver? Do we have somebody else that's living in the home that we had not anticipated? All those things come into consideration. Do we have a child that's moved back home? So all those things can come into consideration. The same on a business perspective. Has the business grown? Have I added staff? Have I added services? Have we gone to multiple locations or even maybe multiple states? Those all can affect coverage. So again, investing the time with a qualified insurance advisor to help you walk through those discussions and have those conversations can truly make a difference in whether you're properly insured or not.
As I was thinking about the new homes Al was talking about and things like that, there are also people that might be waiting for their new home to be ready, and they're renting now. They sold their house. They're like, okay, we're waiting for that home to be ready. We're going to rent for a couple months. So that's changed. There's a million different configurations of life that happens.
Well, absolutely. Or I've, because Al always finishes his homes ahead of schedule.
That's right.
I was able to move in earlier, and maybe I haven't
break my lease.
Yeah, I haven't sold my home yet, and maybe it's vacant for more than 30 days. So somebody that can come in and say, hey, now is the time to think about vacant home coverage because maybe your home policy no longer is in effect. So again, being able to work with those changes in life can truly make a difference.
That's right. And one of the things I know that you're doing, or probably already have done at this point of the year, is that you're planning for all the classes that you're teaching. I bet your schedule, John, is getting pretty filled.
We're working on it very hard. We've got a good amount of the first quarter covered. We still have some openings. So we're working with our real estate partners, our friends at Stewart Title, our friends at the Houston Association of Realtors to schedule classes throughout the year. So, yes, we're working very hard to get as much of that calendar put together before the end of the year as we can.
And don't you do a week or so where you get away and do your plan?
I do. I try to do.
Or yours is beginning of the year. I forget.
No, mine. I try to do the middle of December. Go away for 2 or 3 days and kind of reflect on the year as well.
Well, there you go. That should be great when you get to do that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yes.
Well, John, what else should we know?
Well, I think it's if what we talked about earlier. If you are thankful for all those, and you do have an insurance advisor in your life that helps you and your family make sure that you're properly insured or that your real estate business is properly insured. Truly be thankful for that, and we're thankful that you do have that. If that's something you don't have or your business doesn't have, then we would like that opportunity to be that insurance resource for you. And you can reach us both as an individual to help with your personal insurance as well as a business at 866-798-2827. That's 866-798-2827. You can learn more about us at stewartinsurance.com or email us at stewartinsurance@stewart.com.
So, and that number, John, works no matter where in the United States they want to call.
That's right.
Simply call
866-798-2827.
And, John, I want to say a word of thanks to Stewart Insurance, because without Stewart Insurance sponsoring this show, supporting us in every way, year in and year out, I mean, we wouldn't have a show and be able to get this information out there and get to meet so many great people along the way. And I love to, when we have guests on the show, they get to mingle and make connections. So many great things are a part of the efforts and the dollars from Stewart Insurance, you, Tom Carpentier, and the whole team. So a special word of thanks directly from me and all of us at Stewart Title, John.
Well, you're welcome, and we value the partnership as well. We're thankful for this opportunity, and I look forward to get up to 686.
We'll be trying. John Bramlett, the phone number one more time, just for the fun of it.
866-798-2827.
John, thanks for being with us again.
Always a pleasure, Bill.
Now, we have Stewart Title offices all over the United States, actually, and in some cases, like in let's say, Arkansas, Pennsylvania, sometimes they are part special offices and things like that. However, here in Houston, Texas, I don't know how many we have, 17 offices. We have business development people. If you're a regular listener to the show, you hear our reps on the show. So we have a lot of offices here in the Houston area to serve you when it's time to close that real estate transaction. And one of our tremendous offices, and I think at the top of Kirby Grove offices, Julianne, I bet there's at least 2 or 3 flags flying right now.
Yes, there are.
You checked before you left, right?
I did, yes, I did.
So they're up there flying right now. Probably we got them from Kronberg's, no doubt about it. But there you go. Kirby Grove, ladies and gentlemen, is one of our premier, if pardon the pun, one of our flagship offices. And here she is, Juliana Bareford. Juliana, you represent the Kirby Grove office.
Yes, I do, Bill. I've been here a little over 4 years.
Man, time flies.
It sure does.
4 years. And let's tell people, Kirby Grove, give them an idea where it's located and the geographic area, because the Kirby Grove office covers so many parts of the real estate empire here in Houston.
Yeah, we're located on the corner of Richmond and Kirby. We overlook Levy Park. We cover anything inside the Loop, downtown.
The Heights even.
The Heights even, yes. Heights, Montrose. Yeah, pretty much anywhere, really.
And those are all real estate-wise, even especially those listening outside of Houston. These areas are just so important keystones to the Houston economy and to Houston, Texas themselves. I mean, each one, University, West University, River Oaks, these are all served by Kirby Grove.
Yes, we're actually kind of on the borderline of River Oaks and Upper Kirby, so we do service all of those areas.
So many distinctions at Kirby Grove, Juliana, as you know, but at least 2 of them. We have our 2 escrow officers have been with the company that are at Lauren Reed and Sanford Real. They have been with the company a long time and have so much experience at the different type of real estate transactions, both commercial and residential.
Right. Sanford has been with the company over 25 years, I believe, and she's been in the industry for well over 30. She does a lot of commercial and residential. Lauren Reed is our branch manager, and she's been with the company for 15 years. And she actually started in my role, believe it or not, and then worked.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she did as a marketer, and then she, I think, worked as an assistant for a while, and then got promoted to an escrow officer, and then branch manager, I believe, 5 years ago. It was a little bit before I started. And even her assistant, Lauren, has been with the company over 10 years. So we have a lot of longevity, which is a good thing.
Exactly. And in the Kirby Grove office between Lauren and Sanford, one of the great things is that all through the years, all the different types of transactions, and when there's a curveball or 2 that are thrown, they know that they've faced it before, and they're able to handle all these sometimes complicated transactions, and certainly the easy ones too.
Sure. Yeah, they do a lot of different types of commercial in addition to residential, anything from retail to warehouses to, manufacturing facilities. As far as the residential side, they can do multifamily. We do a lot of construction loans, a lot of commercial refis. So there's just a wide variety. And I hear them talking a lot about different scenarios. And I don't think there's anything that gets thrown at them that they don't know how to handle.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. They have such knowledge, and also the ability to be nimble and move. If something throws a wrench into things, they're ready to go right there.
Yeah, so I came from a home warranty background, and when I decided I wanted to transition into title, Stewart Title is where I wanted to work, and there were just no openings. That's how long people stay with the company, and I had a search saved on Indeed for over 4 years before a position finally opened up in the business development.
So you saw it. This is so interesting to talk to you. It's like the first, we've known each other for years. When I first started with Stewart Title, I remember meeting you at that home warranty company because you and I had an office, oddly enough, in the same building, what was once called Stewart Residential.
Right.
I could remember the cubicle you were in as if it were yesterday in the corner.
Me too. Yes,
there you go.
I remember.
So, but I didn't know you sought out Stewart in that way, but there goes to show. What a case study.
Yeah, I had a little save search on Indeed, and I got every job posting that Stewart Title had. Most of them were like title escrow officers, title examiner, things like that. And then one day there was one for business development officer. So I applied and got hired, and the rest is history.
Actually, just a side note, before, as I talked with Lauren Reed those 4+ years ago, I remember one day she says, "Hey, we've hired somebody, and it's someone you know." I said, "Really? Who?" Obviously, I would say, "Who?" Right?
Who? Right.
She wouldn't tell me.
She didn't tell you, really?
No, she said you'll have to wait, and then there you go. And then
well, here I am.
And that was interesting to see you. So that's awesome. What a great story. Now, also, one of the things that you do, yes, you're developing business. You're out there talking. You're on the radio, creating interest in Stewart Title, especially Kirby Grove. But one of the things that a lot of people don't think about in our offices, those that have been do, but you are holding classes. And by the way, Kirby Grove, of all our offices are well appointed and beautiful. But the distinction of Kirby Grove, it's one of our, in my opinion, I have a space there, but it is one of our most beautiful offices as it's on the 15th floor, super views, well appointed. It's one of our more beautiful offices.
It is, and I think when all of our other offices have been remodeled or designed, they're designed after what the Kirby Grove office looks like. That was like kind of the flagship of our designer.
The flagship.
The flagship.
Yeah,
See, there you go.
But where I was getting at too.
I wasn't even trying to make that pun.
I know that's when it works best. But that said, as I was saying, you have classes there on a regular basis, so real estate professionals get to enjoy, other than closing real estate transactions, the real estate professionals around the area get to go to classes. And are there any classes that you want people to know about? Because I know you've been working on the schedule. You have informative ones, CE classes, continuing education, and other things going on.
All of my classes are continuing education, and I try and do a wide variety. I obviously have the core classes that the agents need, like legal and contracts and broker responsibility, but I do a lot of elective classes. And as a matter of fact, John Bramlett is teaching for me next week. His class, The Two Sides of Water, which is one of his more popular ones.
It gets rave reviews.
It is. It's a really good class. It's one of my favorites. Every time I listen, even though I've probably sat in 10 or 11 times, I learn something new.
And the water's such a big topic around Houston, Texas. At least for a while, we've had a drought, and now it seems like someone uncorked the rain, so it's okay.
It is okay, but I've got lenders that teach, inspectors.
Didn't you have an AI guy on about something?
I did, and I had a stager that used to teach some hands-on classes that was really popular. So I think I'm going to bring that back for 2026. And I'm working on my schedule right now, so I'm excited for what next year has to offer.
Well, Juliana, let's tell people how they can reach you in case they want to know more about the classes. They want to bring the real estate transaction to Kirby Grove. What should they do? You can text me or call me at 346-581-6471. Again, 346-581-6471. Or you can email me at Juliana, Juliana.Bareford@Stewart.com. Kirby Grove.
Thank you for having me, Bill. Always a pleasure.
Good to see you. And now he's back for a final word. Al Ross Luxury Homes, Kronberg Flags and Flagpoles, Meridian Signs. We're going to find out a little bit about Meridian Signs, too. And, of course, Ross Homes. Al, welcome back to the show. It's you and me closing the show down.
Yes.
Putting a candle on the cake. So, Al, tell us a bit about Meridian Signs, because here you are. We drive around the city. We see flags, but we also see signs of all sorts. Tell us about Meridian.
Yeah, so Meridian Signs is a company here in Houston. We have there's about 22 employees in the company, and we're growing. Basically, we handle any kind of need that a client has on an interior level or to the exterior level, and we ship signs all over the country and Houston, and we do it all. And I started that business with two other people in my organization. Joanne is a partner, as well as Greg Hollenberg, who was the president and CEO of National Signs for many years. And how we came about this is we were looking at acquiring National Signs through bankruptcy, and we were not successful in doing so. But we decided to, in the process, start a company called Meridian Signs.
So Meridian Signs, and most of your work is here in Houston, Texas, with the signs, or do you go beyond?
Well, we go beyond, and as it turned out that when my previous company that I started sold in 2012, we were able to hire a bunch of those people that were unemployed at the time because of the bankruptcy, and at the same time, we had another company in town that was also closing doors, and so we were able to bring some of those folks over to us. And
signs are all over the place, Al,
yes,
aren't they?
They sure are.
And I would think that the signs come in all sizes. You have some that light up, some that don't. I guess covering the bases.
We do it all. It's we do a lot of work on high-rise buildings and large structures, and there's really not much that we can't do. As you know, signs are an important part of our economy in terms of advertising and displaying your message to the public.
No doubt about it. Al, it's always inspirational to have you on and just to be around you, because we've only talked about 4 of the things you do. I think there's like at least 20 more.
I got 2 more for you, but I'll leave it for the next time we meet.
Next time. But that's the beauty of someone that has a vision like yourself, that's having fun in business, and you're ambitious.
Yeah, thank you. We love what we do, and we love Houston. We love what we do. We have some great team members on our team and great partners, and we're looking for other opportunities in Houston to acquire. And we have several target companies that we're looking at, and hopefully in our next time we meet, I'll be able to talk to you about at least 3 other brands that we're looking at.
And next time, let's bring your son, Pedrum.
Yes, that's correct.
We say hello to him, and we hope to have him on the show talking about the Ross Homes. And Al, once again, if someone wants to reach out to you,
they can call me at 713-306-9154. 713-306-9154.
Thank you, Al. And thank you all for listening to Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. I am your host, Bill Knapik. And one special word here, we have some of our friends that are also starting a radio show, and I will be appearing on that show. So I want to give you the heads up. The show is called the Real Estate Rat Pack. It's going to be on Saturdays from 8 till 9, 8 a.m. till 9 a.m. on Saturdays. And the Rat Pack is Rob Cook and Chris Kelso. Very entertaining, informative guys. Once again, Saturday, 8 a.m. till 9 a.m. I'll be appearing soon on the Real Estate Rat Pack right here on AM 950 KPRC. Make sure you check it out. And simply go to stewart.com/radio. That's right, in case you want to see the guests here on the show today. You get to see Al, Juliana, John. They're on the YouTube channel at stewart.com/radio, or simply go to Radio Bill. We'll see you next week. Thanks for listening.